All right, what's going on, everybody? Josh Pocock here, and in today's video, we're going to be looking at installing RagFlow. So RagFlow is an open source retrieval augmented generation engine based on deep document understanding. It offers a streamlined RAG workflow for your business of any scale, combining LLM models to provide truthful question answering capabilities backed by well-founded citations from various complex formatted data. All right, we're going to dive right into it, show you how to install it, get it set up and running on your machine, all open source, and of course, all free. Let's dive right into it. All right, guys, so here is the RagFlow website. Link to the GitHub, link to the website, and the docs will all be in the description down below. Just to quickly go over what is RagFlow, as well as some of the features of RagFlow, as well as why is RagFlow different than a lot of the other tools we covered on here. So RagFlow, build generative AI into your business. Retrieval augmented generation engine to unleash your full potential. So I'm not going to go into the depths of, what RAG is, but just to somewhat summarize, RAG is essentially a way that you can get higher quality output and querying and whatnot of your own data. So you can chunk your own, you basically do, there's multiple different steps, but it goes through a chunking process as well as an embedding process, which basically takes a text that you give it. Let's say you train it on a bunch of knowledge, maybe from your company, maybe like a bunch of PDFs or whatever the case may be. This is as an example. It's going to take that information, that data, chunk it down into different size chunks and use an embedding model to embed it into somewhat like of a different code and in different dimensions. And then when the user queries, say if I ask a question trying to get information, ask it about my knowledge base that we just put into a vector store into a with the embeddings, then it would take my query, put it in an embedding that's as well a dimensional kind of code, like a vector, and then it would basically use mathematical calculations like cosine or similarity or dot product to determine what's the most relevant answer to that query, and then give me the ideal information from my data source or my database or whatever the case may be, right? So there's different types of ways to do RAG and everything like this. RagFlow is essentially a tool. I'll just quickly go over some of the features here. So grounds and citations for reduced hallucinations, quick view of key reference and traceable citations to support grounded answers. So RagFlow is essentially supposed to be like a tool to put your RAG here on steroids, essentially, or just give it more capabilities, and as well do this in a very user-friendly, easy way. You don't have to like code things or do any of that. It's like it's all no code through a GUI and everything like that. So we'll show you in just a second. Quality in, quality out. So deep document understanding based knowledge extraction from unstructured data with complicated formats. So that's another thing that RagFlow is really good at. It's good at taking complicated formats. I think it's going to show, we'll get into seeing some of the formats in just a second, but like you could do PDF, you could do what's it called? PowerPoint, you could do image, you could do, and I even think they just came out with a new feature for audio. So we'll look at some of these bullet points in more depth to see exactly what they have on the GitHub repo. Template based chunking. So it's not just like you can chunk it in one specific way. They have different templates that you can use for chunking your information into different ways, intelligent and explainable. And then compatibility with heterogeneous data sources, supports words, slides, Excel, text, images, scanned copies, structured data, web pages, and more. So you can see, boom, PDF, chunk number, chunk method, general, enabled, parsing status, JPEG, doc, PPT, CSV, a bunch of different types of data formats. All right, so that's the website. And they also, somewhere they have like a demo you can try out. Here's the docs. I'll leave it in the description down below. But I'm just going to read the docs on, at least to start off, on the GitHub, because I believe it's the same. There may be a little bit more in the docs, but anyways, so here's the demo.ragflow.io, and here's some images of kind of what it looks like. So they got a new UI builder, which they had it as graph, and now they changed it to, like, I believe, called agent. So supports oh wow, so this is really cool, and I'm gonna do more videos on this in the future. So supports graph rag. If you don't know what graph rag, I'm not gonna go too in depth, but here's just their repo right here. It's actually by Microsoft, so it's a different way of doing graph rag. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing more videos about rags and different types of rags, and not just like the basic rag, but like getting even in better high quality rags. Show you how to do that stuff. So if you want any specific videos around those topics, let me know. But anyways, latest update supports audio file parsing, supports LLMs such as local AI, open router, StepFun, NVIDIA, adds more components, Wikipedia, PubMed, all these other ones, DuckDuckGo to the graph, supports workflow based on graph, supports Markdown and DocX in Q&A and parsing method, supports extracting images from docx files, supports extracting tables from Markdown files, supports self-rag, which is enabled by default in dialog settings, integrates with BCE, BGE, re-ranking models, or re-ranker models, supports Raptor for better text retrieval, and integrates with OpenAI GPT-4o. So those are some of the key features we already went over, and the system architecture is right here. So this is kind of like a basic understanding of RAG. So as we see here, documents go in, so file goes in, task dispatch into here, chunk, document layout, oops, let's see here, document layout and analyze, table structure recognition, task executor, document parser. So it uses the different tools. These are like different tools that it will use. OCR, so, and then chunk, and then multi-ray, recall, re-rank, answer, LLMs. So this is when the query happens. So it goes to the web, nginx, question, query, analyze. So yeah, it's just essentially just supposed to be a document showing their system architecture for how the RAG works. And so prerequisites for using RagFlow is 4-core CPU, 16 gigabytes RAM. Yeah, I won't lie, like even in doing the Docker compose up, it's a pretty, like, it's a bigger one. It's definitely a bigger one. So yeah, if you don't have the necessary requirements, then I mean, you could maybe try it, but honestly it would probably just be better to do Docker compose on a server. So you can check out, like, you can get any server, Hetzner server. You can get one Contabo VPS, very cheap, like $5-10. Put it on there and it will be good to go. And either way, if you've been following this channel for a while, you probably either have a server, or like you definitely should get one if you're doing all these just on your home, like desktop or laptop. Then I would definitely suggest getting a server. Pay like $5-10 a month, and you can pretty much do like most of the installs that we've done on this channel. Anyways, start up. Okay, so and then RAM, so disk, 50 gigabytes of space, and then Docker. So you're gonna need Docker, and go to docker.com, download it for your operating system. Docker's essential. It's awesome. We use it all the time. It's like one of the best things ever. So definitely get that regardless. And then this is how to basically install it. So I just skip this part. I just went to cloning the repo. So I did git clone. I cloned this into my repos app on my desktop, and then build the pre-Docker images and start up the server. So it's actually very simple to install and start up. It did take me a little bit of time just because it's like a bigger download. But it's very easy to install. It just may take a bit of time. I don't know if it's going to take everyone as long as it took. Like, it maybe took like 10, 15, 20 minutes, but I was also doing other stuff too. But anyways, so git clone. So you would just open up your terminal, and if ever like you're encountering issues with the terminal, sometimes you got to run it in as administrator, but and I don't even think you have to for this. So yeah, so you would just go git clone the repo, which I already have it, and then you're gonna want to cd into, so this is change directory into ragflow / docker. So once you git clone it, you just run this command. Okay, I didn't run this. This is like a Linux command, but yeah, if you need to run that on a Linux or whatnot, you could. I just did right after that docker compose up. It's -d. Okay, so that's why you need Docker. And then if you're running into any issues, you could check the server logs for RagFlow. But it will, and also too, guys, you need to have Docker desktop opened on your computer. So just once you install it, make sure it's open so you're good to go on that. Oops, come on. Oh goodness, why does that always happen? Okay, here we go. RagFlow. Okay, so once you're done that, it's gonna be open on port 80 of your on your local host, right? If you're doing on your local host. So yeah, in your browser, enter the IP address of your server and log into RagFlow, and it's on port 80. So if you're doing it on a server, you put your IP address. If you're doing it on your local host, you can just put localhost, and then in service _config.yaml, you can select the desired LLM factory in user _default LLM and update the API key with the corresponding key. So see LLM API key setup for more information. And there's also different configurations you can do. Let me just see here. Open. Oops. Go open. Okay, so yeah, this is all about configuring your API keys and whatnot, and you'll see there's a bunch of different integrations. We're going to get into that in just a second. So configurations, when it comes to system configurations, you will need to manage the following files. .env, this is for your MSQL password, Minio password, and all this stuff. You must ensure that changes to the .env are in line with what are in the service config file. And yeah, there's other configs that you can do, and you can also, yeah, there's other ways you can install it. But anyways, let's just get, like, I just showed you the basics of how to get started. From that point on, if you've done everything, you should basically have your RagFlow set up. So let me just go back to the homepage here. So localhost. All right, I'm just doing it on my local host right now. I may set it up on my Coolify server later. So if you do want me to like show you specifically how to do that, let me know. I'm also doing some more videos too on showing you guys how to set specific stuff up on Coolify. So if you're not familiar with Coolify, I've done like 10, 15 videos on it maybe by now. So definitely something to look into. And if you know about if you've been following this channel and you know about like the Perplexity ones I've been doing, I have a video coming doing a comparison between different Perplexity alternatives. And I'm also going to show you how to install them on Coolify in the same video. So make sure to stay up to date for that. Anyways, so just to quickly go over kind of what we're looking at here, we got our profile, which is basic. You can change like your username, your photo, your time zone, all that good stuff. Password, pretty basic. Mono providers is where we get into the good stuff. So we got added providers. It's interesting. Okay, this is like a RagFlow. I believe it's built by like a Chinese team or something. Yeah, China's going hard in AI right now. So yeah, and as you can see, they got it looks like this default like Quen right here is at the top. So this is this, if you're not familiar with Quen, definitely really good model, especially for Quen 2 for coding. And it's made by a Chinese team. So show more models. We can see different models here, embedding models. So you would want to put an API key there and add models. So add OpenAI key, the base URL. So this is actually what the base URL is for OpenAI right here. And then you could put your API key here. We got Moonshot. You got a bunch, right? You got Olama, right? Base URL. This you could click here. Okay, it's not showing you. Okay, I'll quickly try to explain how you would do a llama, just because I know some people may be asking that. You would just put your base URL here, which, depending, it's either going to be localhost or like I would just honestly ask Perplexity, hey, like what's the base URL for a llama, or ask like ChatGPT, and it will tell you. It's like either localhost or Docker. I forget the Docker one, but it's that, and then the port is, I forget, but you could get the port, just ask GPT. You would put that there, and then you put your model name. You can do embedding, re-rank, image to text. A lot of different options we have, right? And yeah, I'm not gonna go through them all. Bedrock, Mistral, Local AI, LM Studio, Gina, and you can see what each one has. So some only have LLM, some have LLM text embedding, image to text. You got Open Router, NVIDIA, Step Fun, really a bunch of different ones. You got a lot of different options, which is pretty cool. System model settings, so we can see Quen Plus, Quen Turbo, whatever model. You got embeddings right here. Okay, your image to text model, your sequence to text model, re-rank model. All right, I'll definitely be connecting more of these. We got system here, so Elasticsearch, active primary shards. Okay, so this is just showing some info about the system and everything that's set up on team. So you can see your team workspace. Can't really do much here, it looks like. It says an upgrade button, but it's not letting me click it. So okay, let's get into the main the main meat and potatoes. We got knowledge base, chat, agent, and file management. Okay, so knowledge base, we can create a knowledge base. I just actually, here, let me create a new one. So test. Okay, from this point on, we got configuration, so you can add a knowledge base photo. You can put a description. You can select language, which only has English or Chinese. You can select permissions for only yourself or your team. You can select your embedding model, your chunk method. So as you'll see here, I'm not going to go through all the different chunk methods, but we got general, Q&A, resume, manual, table, paper, book, laws, presentation, picture, one, audio, knowledge graph. So this will display a visual explanation of the knowledge base categories. This is actually really cool. Knowledge graphs, graph, drag, and all that. That's, like I said, something I'm going to be doing more videos on. But it gives a lot of them an explanation of how the chunk method works. So supported formats, doc, Excel, PPT, image, PDF, text. And you can see kind of description, and then some images here. Step 1, step 2, so split into pieces, merge into a chunk. Okay, you can select the chunk token number, right? So let's just put 128. And then layout recognition, so use visual models for layout analysis to better identify document structure. Find where the titles, text blocks, images, and tables are. Without this feature, only the plain text of the PDF can be obtained. So this is like some cool stuff about RagFlow. Like, you may be wondering, like, okay, Josh, you showed us different rags before, and like all these different rags, what's different with RagFlow? So I'd say the thing that's like RagFlow, it specializes just with the rags mainly, and it has a lot of different options for rags in a very easy to use manner, and like a GUI, and it can work really well with different formats. All right, so like I said, like all those different formats, whether it's Excel, images, this, that, whatever, that's why it's good. So use Raptor to enhance retrieval, recursive abstractive processing for tree organized retrieval, referred to Hugging Face papers here. So you could turn that on if wanted, but once you're done there, you can go retrieval testing. So you can see like final step after success, leave the rest for else, basically similarity threshold. So I'm not gonna, but yeah, similarity, keyword similarity weight, you can change that. Re-rank model, you can select top K. All right, you can just hover over the question mark and we'll explain what it is if needed. And you can go test text, okay, and then your data set. So you can add a file or create an empty file. Like if I went here, let me just select a file real quick on my desktop. We can just go, yeah, I'm just uploading this. So this is like a VS Code thing. And then you can click this and it will start parsing. So you can see the status there. All right, so you can see parsing success here. So you can see if you hover over parsing, we can see process started, process duration, 48 seconds, process message, task has been received, OCR is running, OCR finished, layout analyzed, finished, analysis finished, table analysis finished, text merging finished, finish slicing files, start to embedding the context, and then finish embedding, start to build index, and done. So really cool. You can see the chunk method here. You can rename, delete, download. So let's go ahead and just do a bit of testing here. So okay, so actually let's go to chat, create an assistant test. So you could do assistant settings, upload assistant, opener, show quote, self rag, knowledge base. So we're going to use our test knowledge base. Go to prompt engine. You can see your prompt here. We'll just keep it basic for now. But you can change that. You can select a re-rank model, right? You can go model settings. So we can select your model. Or you can change all these different settings, and let's just keep it very basic for now. Okay, and then if you came over to your assistant, you could go ahead and start talking to the assistant. All right, then if you went over to your assistant, you could go ahead and start chatting with the assistant. Also here we have file management, so you can also see all your files within the knowledge base, and there we have it. And you can add new files here or add new folders. Here under agent is where we can actually create agents. So you can either start with blank or nothing, or you can create from templates such as web search assistant, a chat assistant that combines information both from knowledge base as well as web search engines. It integrates with information from knowledge base as relevant search engines to answer a given question. What you need to do is setting up the knowledge base in retrieval chatbot, HR callout assistant, Chinese, customer service, and interpreter. Yeah, so let's just go ahead and click on this one, the web search assistant, as a test. We'll call this test, just so you can kind of see the interface here. So here is kind of what it looks like. Begin, interface, get keywords, DuckDuckGo, Baidu, Wikipedia, LLM, search, knowledge base. You can see there's different nodes here, such as retrieval, generate, answer, categorize, message, relevant, rewrite, keyword, DuckDuckGo, Baidu, Wikipedia, PubMed, archive, and Google and Bing. So not a huge amount of options like we've seen in some tools like, you know, LangFlow and, you know, Diffie or Flowwise or whatever the case may be. We've done lots of videos on this, but this is, like I said, this tool's strength is mainly around if you want to try out RAG in different ways with different types of file formats, and you want to do it in an easy GUI way. That's when I would look at RagFlow, and I still think it's a really good tool and a really useful tool in certain cases. And yeah, I'm gonna play around with it more and see what I can do with it. But if you have any questions about getting it set up, or anything we covered in this video, let me know in the comments down below. If you want me to make any specific videos on other topics that you want me to cover, let me know in the comments down below, guys. If you're new to the channel, we upload videos on AI, automation, business growth, marketing, sales, anything around that type of stuff. We upload videos like that every single day. So if you're new to the channel and you got some value here, make sure to smash that like button, smash up that subscribe button to stay up to date with the daily uploads. I got a lot of cool value stuff coming for you. This is just not even the tip of the iceberg. So we're just ramping up here on this channel. And also too, guys, if you're new here and you haven't already joined our free community, Stride community, link for that will be in the description down below. Our free Discord channel and our free Facebook group with a lot of free resources as well. You can network with like-minded individuals, AI enthusiasts, entrepreneurs, myself, etc. We have about 750, 800 members in both those combined. Also too, guys, if you haven't checked out my book, Client Acquisition Code, and you want clients for your business, check that out. It's like my most cost-effective thing. It's like a cost of a book that I worked. It's like it took me multiple years to finish that book and actually create it. It was not like a very easy task, but yeah, so it has a whole chapter on AI and prompting in there, and yeah, you can learn a bunch of stuff just for barely anything. And I'm gonna be adding more stuff to people who features for people who buy that book, such as a course content, community as well, and all that good stuff. So check that out, link in the description down below. Other than that, guys, I will see you in tomorrow's video. Keep hustling, keep grinding, and of course, guys, accelerate your stride. Take care.